1800 hours, Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Farzana Khan. First, the headlines. Prime Minister has announced to table a bill in National Assembly for creation of separate province of South Punjab. Addressing a gathering in Melsi this evening, Imran Khan underlined the need of dialogue and diplomacy for peaceful solution of standoff between Russia and Ukraine. Minister for Information and Broadcasting says opposition will return to their homes along with their failed no-confidence movement. In India, illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Modi-led fascist Indian government is using notorious National Investigation Agency to arrest innocent Kashmiris on fake charges and punish them through its docile courts. International Atomic Energy Agency and Tehran have agreed to remove obstacles in reviving 2015 Iran nuclear deal. On the third day of first cricket test against Pakistan at Rawalpindi, Australia in their first innings were 271 for loss of 2 wickets at stumps today. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan has announced to table a bill in the National Assembly for creation of separate province of South Punjab. Addressing a gathering in Melsi city of Vehari district today, he said that the federal government will spend 500 billion additional rupees for the development of South Punjab. He said the government is taking concrete steps to reduce inflation, create job opportunities and strengthen national economy. The Prime Minister said the Federal Board of Revenue collected record tax last year, which will be invested on the welfare of the masses. He said the government took measures to provide relief to farmers, which will pave the way for the development of the country. He said the government is providing subsidy worth 132 billion rupees on purchase of urea, while fertilizer is being imported from China to overcome its deficiency. Talking about coronavirus, he said the government announced smart lockdown policy during the pandemic to save national economy from adverse impacts of the pandemic. Talking about recent bomb blast in Peshawar, he said the government is committed to overcome terrorism and promote peace and stability in the country. Imran Khan said Pakistan incurred huge loss in terms of finance and infrastructure in the fight against terrorism. Minister for Information and Broadcasting Chaudhry Fawad Hussain says the opposition will return to their homes along with their failed no-confidence motion aiming to dislodge the government. In a tweet, he said hollow claims of Maulana Fazlur Rahman and Bilawal Bhutto Zardari proved to be worthless. Chaudhry Fawad Hussain said Prime Minister Imran Khan will undertake important international-level visits after the conference of OIC Council of Foreign Ministers being held in Islamabad this month. Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting Farooq Habib has said Hukuk-e-Sindh March launched by the PTI has become an effective voice of people of the province. In a tweet today, he said people of Sindh have been suffering consistently at the hands of PPP government for the last 14 years. The minister said a large number of people have taken to streets in Sindh as rebellion against the PPP government that always promoted hoarders, mafia and lawlessness in the province for personal gains. Minister for Communications Murad Saeed has said Prime Minister Imran Khan has defeated negative politics of the opposition at every front. Talking to newsmen today, he said the government sailed through all tests in the parliament, including legislation pertaining to the Financial Action Task Force. Murad Saeed said the Prime Minister is pursuing an independent and dignified foreign policy by saying absolutely not in joining any war of others. Minister for Finance and Revenue Shaukat Tareen has expressed the confidence that Pakistan will exit from the grey list of Financial Action Task Force after achieving all targets set by the task force. Talking to Khalij Times in Dubai, he said although Pakistan has completed 26 conditions out of 27 of the National Action Plan, but FATF's recent decision to retain Pakistan in the grey list is politically motivated. Meanwhile, in a statement of the Ministry of Finance, said Pakistan presented its case at FATF in an effective manner and is making endeavours to complete the last 2 remaining items of both the action plans at the earliest. Special Representative of Prime Minister on Interfaith Harmony Hafiz Tahir Mahmood Ashrafi says everyone has equal right to celebrate International Women's Day within the constitutional parameters. He was commenting on the letter written by Minister for Religious Affairs Pir Nurul Haq Qadri to Prime Minister Imran Khan for observing Hijab Day on Tuesday. The special representative urged the PTI activists to observe the day keeping within limits by avoiding socially, morally and religiously unacceptable slogans. Tahir Ashrafi said there is a proper mechanism in place to celebrate any day in the country and everyone should follow the code of conduct as prescribed in the law. This is Radio Pakistan giving you the news. President Dr. Arif Alvi has directed Pakistan Post Office to hold an inquiry over the negligence of its officials for ignoring recommendations of Special Medical Board to retire an ailing employee on medical grounds. In a statement, he expressed dismay over the fact that the department has failed to consider the medical condition of a paralyzed employee and asked him to opt for premature retirement instead of providing him relief on medical grounds. Pakistan International Airlines has been granted 2 more operating licenses by Chinese authorities for Guangzhou and Xi'an in addition to Beijing. Talking to APP, PIA's country manager Kadir Bakhsh Sanghi said national flag carrier has also got approval from the Chinese authorities to operate chartered cargo flights for Kunming and Shenzhen, while approval for Xinjiang is under process. The country manager expressed the confidence that the chartered cargo flights to different Chinese cities would help further enhance trade and economic affairs between Pakistan and China. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the Modi-led fascist Indian government is using its notorious National Investigation Agency to arrest innocent Kashmiris on fake charges and punishing them to create an atmosphere of fear and terror. According to Kashmir Media Service, a court framed charges against 7 Kashmiri youth in a so-called fund transfer case in Jammu. The family members and relatives of the detained youth refuted the NIA charges and said that they were innocent. The Jammu and Kashmir Pradesh Youth Congress staged a protest in Jammu against the Delimitation Commission, saying that people of Kashmir were not happy with its draft report. The protesters said the Delimitation Commission is working at the behest of BJP government. Meanwhile, a group of Pakistani women married to Kashmiri husbands have called upon India to provide them travel documents to return to Pakistan. They said they are unable to visit their parents back in Pakistan due to travel restrictions. Iran and the International Atomic Energy Agency have agreed on a 3-month plan to remove obstacles in reviving the 2015 nuclear deal. This was stated in a joint statement in Tehran signed by head of Atomic Energy Organization of Iran, Mohammad Islami, and visiting Director General of International Atomic Energy Agency, Rafael Grossi. The two sides agreed to accelerate and strengthen their cooperation and dialogue aimed at resolution of all issues. The UN Security Council will hold an emergency meeting tomorrow on the Ukraine conflict. The meeting has been proposed by Mexico and France, who are pushing a draft that calls for an end to hostilities in Ukraine, unhindered flow of humanitarian aid, and protection of civilians. In the United States, hundreds of people have been evacuated as a wildfire destroyed residential buildings in Florida state. According to Florida Forest Service, dry conditions in the state have created elevated fire dangers with 148 active wildfires burning across the state. And now cricket. On the third day of first cricket test against Pakistan at Rawalpindi, Australia in their first innings were 271 for the loss of 2 wickets at stumps today. Earlier, Pakistan declared their first innings at 476 for 4. And finally, the weather report. Mainly cold and dry weather is expected in other parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, rain with wind and thunderstorm and snowfall over the hills is expected in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, North Balochistan, Upper and Central Punjab, Gilgit-Baltistan, Islamabad and Kashmir. To end the news, the main points once again. Prime Minister has announced to table a bill in National Assembly for creation of separate province of South Punjab. Addressing a gathering in Melsi this evening, Imran Khan underlined the need of dialogue and diplomacy for peaceful solution of standoff between Russia and Ukraine. Minister for Information and Broadcasting says opposition will return to their homes along with their failed no-confidence motion. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.